It doesn't matter how you look. It is about the energy that you feel. And so what I invite you to do is start working on how can I cultivate that energy with myself? Because self-love is not about setting goals and then feel good about your body. Self-love is about how can I love myself now? With all my shapes and forms, and how can I enjoy food and not feel guilty about it? How can I raise that vibration when I'm eating the food that I enjoy? Because guess what? You came to planet Earth, and because of that, you can eat. That's not something that you can do in the spirit world. You can taste. And so whenever I'm eating chocolate, for example, I love chocolate, I'm like, this is incredible. You know, I'm enjoying this because I might not be able to enjoy this when I'm not here anymore. In this episode, I'm going to talk about body image and my past with struggling to accept my body, to love my body for how I looked. And I realized that actually a lot of people are going through this, and a lot of people, especially in this social media age where everyone is looking outside of themselves, comparing, not being happy with their lives, wanting to be somewhere else, wanting to have a different body shape, wanting to look different, wanting to look like different people with all these filters and things going on. I feel there's so much fake things going on, and our view has become so distorted, and also we've been programmed that way. And that's why I want to dedicate this video into how you can build a healthy relationship with your body, how you can love yourself, and what is actually a way to move into higher frequencies and to become your best, strongest, healthiest self and love yourself fully as you are. So if that's something that you love to learn more about, then stay around.
How does it feel to be alive, to be free? Are we truly in the here and now, or are we living a dream that we created? Close your eyes to see clearly. This is life on purpose.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of On Purpose by Lynn. For those of you who are new here, welcome. My name is Lynn and I share with you everything you need to know about personal development and spirituality so that you can create your best life and so that you can rise to your fullest potential. If that's something that you're interested in, then make sure to subscribe. So in my past, I really struggled a lot with body image and loving myself, and to an extent that it became really self-destructive. And I don't know if there's anyone watching, and most probably this is more focused on women, but I do realize that men also struggle with body image. And the way that I'm going to lead you through this episode is actually how come that we compare ourselves, how come that we are striving towards this ideal. I'm going to link this to the Matrix, to this simulation or this whatever we're living into right now. And then I'm going to give you some tips on how you can actually start loving yourself better, how I did that in my journey with this self-love and accepting my body and loving my body for exactly how I am. And so I think the reason why today we really compare ourselves even more maybe than before is because we've been programmed in a way of how we should look. And you know, actually on Instagram, this is one thing that I want to talk about. I know there's this girl, I believe that her name is Yoga Girl. I don't really follow her, but family of mine, she told me that this girl, she did an experiment with her audience, and I believe this girl has like 1 million followers or more, and she asked like, what is the content that you love to see? And surprisingly, the votes, because she did a poll, the votes that she got was not from her posing in her bikini, from her posing naked, but more from her life and her lifestyle. And what she saw in her Instagram analytics was that actually all the posts that were posed in bikini or somewhat naked got most views, got most likes, and therefore she started to create more content like that. So she was like, this is bullshit. Why does Instagram then show me different results if my audience says something different? And I want you to think about this for a minute, and this is how I'm going to link it to whatever you believe we live in. I believe we truly freaking live in a matrix. We are programmed to look through a certain filter so that we create a reality that is beneficial to the people in power. And the people in power are not the people that you are seeing on TV. Actually, they're always behind the scenes. And this is my view on what this actually means. What I believe this means is that we are being programmed to actually compete with each other. We are programmed to live in survival. We are programmed to live up to a certain standard because that means, or that equals, surviving in this society. So we must do the education, we must do the career climbing, we must show off our life in a certain way, we must look a certain way. And especially as women, I mean, I know when I'm looking back to my own childhood, and in that time there were only magazines and billboards and all that kind of stuff, all I saw was these super skinny women, and those were all the celebrities, right? And those were all on the front pages of all these magazines. And so automatically I thought I had to look that way in order to be liked and accepted, and that was really the ideal. Even when I looked to fashion shows, all these models, they were super skinny to a point where you feel like this should not be possible, this is not right. And I think a lot of you agree with this, or can recognize this. Let me know in the comments if you do, that this image that's being portrayed is not what our body shapes actually look like. And so we are unconsciously being programmed in a way that we're being imprinted all these images of this is how you should look like, this is how you should work out, this is what you should eat, this is, you know, you need to be a pretty girl in order to be liked, to be accepted. Or maybe as a man, you need to be strong, responsible, you need to have a certain body shape as well. And so this is all these imprints that we're conditioned with as we're growing up. And I'm not saying that this is the fault of anyone. This is not like blaming anything. This is just me observing things without having any opinion about it. This is just what I see happening in front of my eyes. And I do feel that as we're awakening, a lot of people are waking up to, hey, wait a minute, this is not right. This is not how we're supposed to live. What's the freedom in this? And people are redefining their body types. And that's why I also think that you see a lot of naked people and things showing up on social media as well. It's like women have been so suppressed in not being able to show their bodies that now the pendulum is swinging towards the other side and everyone is like, let's be free, let's be naked, let's do whatever we want to do. And I'm not saying this is wrong or right, but I feel like eventually we will find our balance again into feeling what is integrity, right? What is sexy but also feminine. It doesn't have to be super naked. And again, this is my view. If you don't agree with that, absolutely fine. Leave it as it is. Take this with a grain of salt. So how can we escape this kind of paradigm? Well, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my history with body image. And actually, since I was a really young child, I think the first memory that I have of me not being happy with my body probably goes back to when I was 7 or so. I thought that I had thick legs. I thought I was fat for some reason. Whereas I was a super skinny kid, I was very athletic. I was super strong. And so I come from a family, I actually have a Chinese family. So the body shape and texture of my family is very much also with my dad's side, but also my mom's side. It's very skinny. Like both sides of the family are very skinny. Now, I was never a fat kid. I was athletic. And for me, automatically looking at my siblings and looking at my outside world, I thought that, I was the fattest one in the family, which I was definitely not. But it was just such a distorted view that I had of myself that I never was happy with myself. I remember like picking myself apart in the mirror and always feeling at myself like if there's any fat, on my body that shouldn't be there. And it really, really took me a long time, I think until my mid-20s, like when I was the age 23 or something, where I started to be really happy with my body. Even before that, in my mid-20s, like I was actually working out every single day or six times a week, and I was working out like a maniac, and I was eating healthy, and all these things are great, but when you come from a point of view where your mental health is not in check, then it's going to be super extreme. And what we need to find is balance. Nowadays, I'm at a point where sometimes I gain some weight, sometimes I lose some weight, and I don't care. I stopped caring because I made a shift in my life where I actually felt like, because I was forcing this thing so much, I came to a point where I gave up and I was like, I just want to do things that make me feel good. And I think when you start shifting your perspective, and if this is you, if you're picking yourself apart, if you're not loving yourself, if you're overly forcing to eat healthy or feel guilty when you eat too much or eat unhealthy, or you have these extreme swings in which you eat a lot and then you don't, or you starve yourself. I've gone through that. Like honestly, I've done that. And what I've learned from that is actually when I gave up that stress, I gave up that ridiculous body image that I had of myself, this ridiculous standard of something that I had to attain, not being happy with myself, I started to shift into I just want to feel good. And when you start shifting into I want to feel good, I want to feel strong, I want to feel balanced, and that is a key word right there, then you're going to change something really, really important, because then you're going to work out, you're going to eat differently just because you want to feel good. It's not bound to a certain look, it's not bound to a certain ideal or standard that you have. It's about you feeling good in your own body. And once I started to do that, I started to be actually grateful for my body, because I started to explore it in new ways. This was also the period where I started learning to surf. I was traveling a lot. I was hiking a lot. I was like, it's incredible for me to be even able to do this. I have 2 arms, so I can paddle, I can surf waves. I have 2 legs that are strong, and so I can climb up mountains. I have the ability to run and to sweat, and not because I want to look in a certain way, but because I have a strong, divine, and beautiful body that is made for these things. And this is the thing. You are given 2 arms because you're able to use them. Not everybody has that. There are people who lost their arms. There are people who are sick and don't have the strength. There are people who didn't have all these abilities that you have. And so start looking to your body, or this is what you can try, to look at your body as a divine body. It's something that you've been giving, it's something that you've been blessed with, so that you can experience all these beautiful things in life. Just go over all the beautiful things that you can do just because you have 2 legs, 2 arms, and you can do these things. It doesn't matter how you look. It is about the energy that you feel. It's about the energy of what you feel. And so what I invite you to do is start working on how can I cultivate that energy with myself. Because self-love is not about setting goals and then feel good about your body. Self-love is about how can I love myself now, with all my shapes and forms, and how can I enjoy food and not feel guilty about it? How can I raise that vibration when I'm eating the food that I enjoy? Because guess what? You came to planet Earth, and because of that, you have, you can eat. That's not something that you can do in the spirit world. You can taste. And so whenever I'm eating chocolate, for example, I love chocolate, I'm like, this is incredible. I'm enjoying this because I might not be able to enjoy this when I'm not here anymore. And so I'm enjoying that. And you will find that when you start nurturing yourself, start nurturing your mind and your body and your heart, and just allowing yourself to enjoy and do the things that make you feel good, then you will find that you start to have a healthy relationship with yourself. And you will also find that things will start to become more natural. Sometimes maybe you gain a bit of weight, sometimes maybe you lose a bit of weight, but it doesn't matter because you find this balance in life. Because you are allowing yourself to answer your needs. You're allowing yourself to love your body now. You're allowing yourself, you listen to your body when it wants to move. You listen to your body when it's craving something. Life is about balance. Life is not about forcing things into existence. And so this is my story with how I dealt with this and how I shifted that. And I really think that if you can shift your perspective and you start doing that every single day, you start asking yourself, what do I need? You start telling yourself, I'm beautiful, I'm divine, and you start going over all the things that your body is giving you, and you start listening to what your body needs, then you start cultivating a very different energy that will help you to feel balanced, healthy, and alive. Let me know in the comments if there's anything that you're doing, any aha moments. Also let me know where you guys are tuning in from, because I love to get to know you. And if you have liked this video, thank you so much for liking this video and sharing this video with anyone who you think would benefit from this message right now. Maybe your friends, maybe your family members, maybe your community. And also, I started a podcast on Spotify, which is called Returning Home. You can find it in the link in the description below. So if you're on your way to your work or on your way or commuting, whatever, you're cleaning your house, you can also listen to these things meanwhile. And of course, if you're new here and haven't already subscribed to my channel, remember to do so, as you will be the first to watch all of my videos every Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, so that you can create your best life. Remember, we have such an exciting future to look forward to, even if it doesn't seem like it right now. Thank you so much for being here, and I'm looking forward to see you in the next video. Bye for now.